Hey World Changers! In this Motivational Monday episode, we are going to chat about how you can become unstoppable. But before we dive into that, don't forget to tap that like button and hit subscribe. That way you are the first to know when I drop a new video. Guess what, y'all? It's Monday. It's Monday. I hope that you were able to rest and recharge this weekend, and now it's Monday. That's right. And you know what? Mondays, they tend to get a bad rap, don't they? I mean, for years, I dreaded Mondays. I did not want to get up and get going on Mondays until one day I realized, you know what? Maybe Mondays make me feel sad and stressed out because that's the message that I keep sending to my brain. What if I switch it up and say instead, like, oh, I'm pumped, I'm excited, it's the start of a new week, I'm so stoked that it's Monday. Does anybody say stoked anymore? I do. When I changed the way that I was thinking about Mondays, it completely changed my life. And I want you all to get this from a young age too. The idea that Mondays are not exhausting and dreadful and frustrating and no. It's the start of a new week. It's filled with opportunity for you to step into a better version of yourself. So now you know what time it is. If you've been following my Motivational Mondays for a while, it is time to rock our best power pose. Let's do it. So feet apart. Oh, hands on your hips. Stick out your chest. Lift up your head. Look fierce. And repeat after me. This is how I Monday. All right, let's jump on in. All right, y'all, grab your pen and piece of paper, and I want you to write this down right now because this is the one thing that I want you to take away from this video. Are you ready? Okay, if you are not willing to learn, no one can help you. On the flip side, if you are determined to learn, no one can stop you. Whew, that gave me chills. That's a quote from one of my favorite people, Zig Ziglar. That's the takeaway for this episode. If you are not willing to learn, nobody can help you. But if you are determined to learn, no one can stop you. You become unstoppable. So let me go ahead and tell you a story to really break down this point. A few years ago, I had a 5th grader who was really struggling with 5th grade math. This is not his real name, but for this episode, we'll go ahead and refer to him as Darrell. It was a few months into school, and at this point, Darrell was starting to shut down. Now, I was really trying to help Darrell succeed, but as every lesson passed in this class, he grew more and more uncomfortable. He started to put his hoodie over his head and shut down and just disappear inside of his arms. He wanted to escape, he wanted to run, he wanted nothing to do with 5th grade math. He was absolutely stuck in his struggle, and the worst part was he wouldn't let me help him. So one day I went up to him and I said, you know what, Darrell, I would love for you to join me outside for lunch. Now this was lunch, and I did not want to bring up math and everything right now. I just wanted to get to know Darrell. So I asked him, Darrell, what do you like to do outside of school? And you know what he said?
Play video games.
So I asked him to tell me more about what he liked about playing video games. And he really started to open up about the types of video games that he likes to play, and that he's working on this one where he really wants to go to the next level, but he just can't make it past a certain point, and he's tried so many things and he's starting to get frustrated. But he also told me that on the way to school, he thought of another way to break through the level, and he was so excited to get home and try this new idea out. 5 minutes into talking with Darrell, and I was seeing a completely different kid from the one who had the hoodie over his head wanting to escape my class. He was alive, he was vibrant, he was talking about something that he was super passionate about and determined to succeed in. Then I told Darrell, look, you are going to reach that level. I can tell by the look and the fire in your eyes. You are super determined to make it happen. You know that it's something that you just have to do. You're on fire about, so you will do it. No one can stop you. And I told him, even if your idea does not work, the one that you had today on the way to school, you're still going to figure it out. You're going to try again, take a break when you're frustrated and go back at it until you reach that new level, because you are amazing like that. Darrell was beaming at this point. He was like,
Thank you, Ms. McCarthy.
I'm sure you can predict where I'm going with this, and so did Darrell. I said, Darrell, you know what? If you brought that same determination with you to school and applied it to your studies, to your lessons, you would be unstoppable there too. And instead of being like, yeah, you're right, No, his shoulders went, ooh. And he said, I used to like math in 3rd grade, but then in 4th grade, it got really hard and complicated and I just don't understand. Now 5th grade, forget it. No, it's just too many steps. So I explained to him that he needed to treat each math unit as a level of a video game. I told him, right now, Darrell, you are not willing to learn. Like straight up, you just sit there in class with your hoodie over your head and your head down, and you completely block out somebody who's trying to help you. In math, it's not about knowing and not knowing. Everyone starts out not knowing, not really understanding it, but what you have to do is use what you know to figure out what you don't know how to do yet, just like your video game. And listen, if you want advice on a video game, you're gonna have to find somebody else. But when it comes to math, I am totally here to help you out. It's my job to point you in the right direction, to lead you to success. But you have to take the steps. I have your back and I'm willing to show you the steps that you need to take to get there. But do you have your own back? Are you willing to take the steps that you need to take to get there? To practice until it clicks, just like you do in your video game. So I asked him, what do you say, Darrell? Are you ready to step into a better version of yourself at school? Are you ready to let me point you in the right direction? I believe in you and I will continue to believe in you until you believe in yourself. Because when you believe in yourself, you become unstoppable. So he nodded, he gave me a fist bump and a hug, and he continued to show up every day, throwing down his best. Some days he succeeded wildly and math just seemed to flow through him. And other days he struggled, but he made the choice to take the steps he needed to take, and he made the choice to let somebody in to help him, and he took action by giving his best. So now, world changer, what about you? Where do you need to step up your determination? Do you have walls up in an area where you really need to break them down and let somebody in to help you? This is your education after all. This is your life after all. You have to be the captain of your own ship, the captain of your own education, the captain of your own life, and allow the right people in to help you when you need it. Back to the quote from Zig Ziglar that I want you to take away from this episode. If you are not willing to learn, no one can help you. But if you are determined to learn, no one can stop you, which is pretty awesome because you, world changer, are totally awesome. By the way, if you are a 3rd, 4th, or 5th grader and math is something that you are struggling with, there is no need to be embarrassed with that. I am a math teacher and there were many points in my life that I struggled with math. And now I have a dream job where I get to create fun, engaging math video lessons just for you to make math fun, make it click, and make it stick. So if you need help making math make sense, make sure that you check out my website, mccarthymathacademy.com. The link is below. Now, before we go with this episode, let me remind you that you were born with something special, and it's your job to figure out what that is and to use it to make this world a better place. And yes, I mean you. See you next time, world changer.